So now you know, Farhana, how we can create policies and what
Mhm.
is the requirement to create policies. Just let's go to the lab. I
Okay.
mean, we can
Yes.
see what is actually required and how we can create a policy. It is not completely basic lab. I'm just showing you how we can. I'll create a base. Once we are good with net and
Mhm.
security policies, we can create a basic lab to communicate internally.
Okay. Okay.
So now you are aware about intra-zone, universal traffic. Now you are aware of what kind of zones we can have, like trust, untrust, DMG, any zones we can have as per our requirement. Like we can just name it
Mm.
and we can just make it meaningful. Suppose you are working in an office network, you can have multiple name of the zone, but it is any which ways it is trust zone, but we can name it anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yet in your environment you have named it as AE1, AE2, you have named it something else, right?
Mhm. Yeah, but it has to be meaningful to all the people, right? So if I
Yes.
create, yeah. Okay.
So net we will do it later, I think, because we are already late today.
No problem. No problem.
So let's just try to. So basic criteria is source zone and destination zone.
Mm-hmm.
Basic criteria. If you do not define zones, nothing will work, nothing will be there. Zones is a basic need. It is the first process of packet flow.
Mm-hmm.
So you should have these two information mostly.
Mm. Multiple match creator available to control network traffic, network packet. Match and allow. So this is now trying to match the policy with the packet
Sorry?
match. So can you explain this diagram?
Yes,
Network
yes.
packet is coming,
Yes,
match and allow.
network packet is coming. The packet will be checking. You can see search microscope, right? Network packet is coming and it will be checking all the criteria which is there in the security policies.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it is saying multiple match criteria available, multiple matching criteria. See, these are the criterias to
Mm-hmm.
control network traffic. So it will control the net traffic will be controlled using these
Mm-hmm.
criterias. So source
Mm-hmm.
zone basic criteria, source zone and destination zone should be there, and
Mm-hmm.
then most granular, most specific criterias.
Mm-hmm.
Fields in security policy rules, source address, destination address. These are the fields. When we create security policies, these will be the fields. So you will be configuring this. So it has source address, destination address, port, application, URL category, source user, HIP profile. Let me show you if it is up.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of time in virtual environment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why it's like
You
annoying.
will see it once you will upgrade the firewall. You will
Mm-hmm.
see it. It will take some time, but in your environment as well. But in lab, it takes a lot of time because there are a lot of things. User ID takes time. So once you will upgrade your file, you will see it is taking time. So once you will see this, it you will start like you will start thinking about it. It is up or not. It is not still not working. Something has messed up. So you'll check it like that. So do not worry. It will be up in the production as well.
Yeah. So say, for example, like you get a new request, so like you've seen my production environment, there are a lot of policies. And then
Mhm.
let's say you get a request for a new policy.
Yes.
Do you have to review what's the existing policy in order to know whether you combine it with an existing policy or you create it, but then you have to bring it up all
Yes.
the way? Oh,
I'll,
wow.
I'll, I'll check. We will decide it. We will decide it on the basis of source zone, source address, destination address. If there is a new requirement,
Mm,
you see that the we do already have a policy which is containing the same source address, right? Same destination
mm,
address, but they want to add. Suppose we have a requirement to create a policy where we have a same source address. The policy is already there. Same source address, same destination address, but port is different. So you do not need to create a new policy. You can just add port because source and destination are same already. So you can just add port,
mhm.
right? You can just add port. Somewhere, sometimes you will get a request to create a policy where source is same, but destination is not there. Everything is same except destination. So you can just add destination in the source, right? But
Okay.
you cannot add the source if
Mhm.
destination is bit different.
Okay.
It will be completely same. It should be same completely, right?
Okay.
Otherwise, some source will be accessing some other destination also, which is
Mm,
not required, which is not expected behavior of the policy.
okay.
So we need to check it either we. So how we can check it? We can check it in global search. I'll show you. Let the firewall come. Okay, it is up. You can have multiple questions because this is very important part of this is important part of firewall. So all will be depending on your security policy.
Mhm. What did you just say? I'm sorry.
Everything will be depending on your security policies. If we talk about firewall,
Mhm.
so security policy is kind of basic firewall. I mean, everything will be there.
Mhm. So, Vikram, are you gonna help me set up a lab environment in my personal laptop, or what did we agree? Or no need, we're just gonna learn everything on my production environment. What did we decide? I forget.
Production environment, we will go through in your production environment, and
Okay.
basic things I'll be showing in my lab, right?
Mhm. Okay.
So you decided like to
Mhm.
understand your environment as well.
Okay. So no need for me to go through
Yes, yes.
setting
I'll
up
I'll
an.
showing you whatever I have. I mean, the
Mm,
lab in same lab will you will be creating. So I'll be showing you here.
okay.
It is up all up to you. If you want, you can. Otherwise, we are good with this lab. What I have. You can we can just go
Okay.
through it, right? So that's not an
Yes, yes. But I was thinking like I won't be able to create a policy in my work environment, right? Just for learning.
yes, 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 right. So let's go to the policy. So this is our global search. In the policies, we are going here. So this policy is something we created.
Mhm.
This is general. So we can just give name, rule type, description, tags. So this is group rule tag. If you want to create a group of rules, so you can tag.
So this is how you start creating the policy.
Yes, yes. Suppose
The
you
first.
have
Mm, mm.
suppose you have something allow some you want to allow from interzone to DMG. Suppose there is a requirement to allow interzone to DMG, right? So I'll
So
create.
in reality, is it like for specific subnet or like just you allow anything?
Yeah, the subnet should be there. Subnet should be there. There is no
Okay,
subnet, there is no rule. That is why I
okay,
created. We are done with subnet and interfaces first. So
okay.
interfaces should be aligned to subnet. Subnet zone should be
Mm,
there. Interface should be aligned to a zone, and zone must be
okay.
there. Without zone, without a without zone,
Mm,
nothing will be there. So
okay.
without zone, there is a zone. We already have interfaces in the
Mm,
zone, and
mm,
interfaces we
mm,
already have IPs.
okay. Can we review, if you don't mind,
Yes,
quickly?
yes.
So we started with an interface. Where is our interface? In network
Interfaces.
interfaces. Okay, you go there, and this is our where is the interfaces here? Okay, so we have identified that, okay, Ethernet 1/1 is that subnet, and then we identified that. Okay, now, so the first one is going to be like external, the second Ethernet will be,
Anything
uh,
that could be
okay,
anything, right? So
yeah, yeah. But like for our example here, our lab, we
yeah,
have the second interface as internal, first as external. And can you show me again the IPs?
yes.
Okay, so we have external is
Now we already have
E1
DMG.
/1, and then E2 is going to be internal, and then E1/3 is DMZ, and then IP here is 172.20.10.10. Okay, and the other one is 10.1.1.1/24, and the DMZ. What's
DMG,
this?
I did not specify any IP yet. I can do
Uh,
it later. I am just
okay,
making.
okay,
And
okay. And then because you have to create that interface on the
interface,
yeah,
because that
okay,
interface is not aligned to any of the zone yet. So I'll align
okay,
that
okay,
interface to a zone first.
okay. And now, if you show me zones, please. This
So we have three interfaces, right? So each
yes,
interface should be assigned to a zone.
okay.
If it is
This
not
is
assigned, that
external.
interface is not valid. That
Okay,
interface is not
okay.
useful if it is not
External
assigned to a
zone.
zone. Mhm.
Internal zone. Okay, got it. In so sorry, I'm so sorry, Vikram. Can you go to interfaces one more time?
Yes, 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 yes.
I want to see if the zone, does it show on the interface? Uh, what did I see? So yes, yes. So security zone. Do you type it yourself or it automatically? No, no,
No, no,
sorry.
I'll
Okay.
create it myself. I'll
Okay,
create
got
it
it.
everything
Okay.
myself. So
Okay, so
so
got it. Got it. I'm
this
with you now.
zone
Mhm.
this zone is not specified to any. This interface is not specified to any zone yet. So
Mm-hmm.
this is not useful until unless you do not specify
Yes.
to a zone to this
Okay.
interface. So I'll
Okay.
go to
Now we're
assign a
gonna
zone.
create a oh, okay. After that we create a policy, right?
Yes. Once we
Okay.
have this interface and zone, in
Mhm.
production environment we already have zones. We do not need to create it separately most of the time because we already have zones. Only the request you will be getting related to the known traffic. You already know untrust traffic because untrust traffic is something which we have public IPs. So
Mhm.
you already know the zone of untrust traffic. You already know the zone for trust traffic. You already know the zone for DMG traffic.
Okay. So for that, the Palo Alto already created the implicit, you call it implicit policies,
No, no,
right?
no, 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 no,
Uh,
no, no, no.
I'm
We
messing
already have,
I'm mixing up
yeah,
all stuff, right?
yes, yes. We already created. We means our engineers created everything already. Or
Mm.
if you are the engineer, then you already created everything. You already created outside zones. You already created everything. You already created trust zone. Whatever the IPs are there in your LAN environment, you already created DMG zone. Whatever the IPs are there in your DMG environment. So we already created everything. Without the zone, we cannot create security policy. So every zone we already created because we
Yes,
know.
yes,
We,
yes, I
while,
understand that. But what I'm saying is now that we have we created the interfaces, the zones, everything. So so for example, for the external zone is Palo Alto. I thought you said, or when you first started, you said that by default firewall implicit. What did you say? Like, okay,
implicit policies is by default. Explicit we need to create.
okay.
Implicit
So
policies.
so the implicit in the for example in the extra zone there will be an implicit policy created to allow between that zone between that
See,
external, no, or
yes,
internal
intrazone.
zone.
These are the implicit policies.
Hmm.
These two.
These two, what do they say? Intranet and interzone. Okay,
Yes,
so
intrazone and interzone.
and oh, the bottom two. Okay, intra and interzone. Okay, so
Yes,
so in our case the interzone will be the external zone that we have, right?
yes.
Okay,
And uh,
and the
intrazone
intra
means
will be
within
the
the zone.
internal.
Interzone means different zones.
Okay, okay. So how
So
would you relate?
by
How
default
do you,
it is allowed. By default it is deny. Anything which is coming from inside and going to outside will be denied.
denied?
Nothing.
But
Yeah.
between that internal zone that we created, the intra zone that we created, everything should be allowed.
Yes. We
Okay,
did not
intra
create it. It is by default.
by default. Okay.
We did not
So
created these two, right?
right, we didn't create this two, but Vikrant, relate this two with the two zones that you created, the extra
I
and
created
intra.
three zones now.
Three zones. Okay, okay,
We
okay.
can have
Relate.
multiple zones. We can segregate our trust zone in three parts. We can have a subnet. We can have a lot of big subnet. So we can
Mm,
create a chunk of subnet. We can
mm,
create a chunk of subnet and provide a meaningful name. Suppose I want to create a school zone. I want
mhm,
to create a college zone. So
mhm,
I know this is trust zone. I know the school IPs, all
mhm,
IPs. I know the school college IPs. So this is
mhm,
trust zone, but I'm segregating it, still segregating because I want to provide different responsibilities to
mhm,
school guy and college guy. So I'll create a different zones, but I know this is trust,
mhm, mhm.
right? So college, school zones, I know this is trust.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to hear from you. Okay.
So we have a subnet and we have a trusted subnet. We have a local
Mhm,
subnet. We know this is this is our subnet. This is the subnet which will allow the traffic from our employees, student, right?
mhm,
So I'll create multiple zone from a subnet and I'll
mhm,
give a meaningful name to a zone.
mhm. Okay, got it.
But that is we know that this is trust. We can trust this interface, this zone, right? Because
Mhm,
all the IPs are there in the zone. Different zones are
mhm,
our IPs. We define these IPs,
mhm,
right? If you suppose untrust zone, if you want to create, you see, you created in external zone. You can name it as untrust zone. External zones mean this is outside zone. You can name it anything, but it will not change the meaning.
mhm.
It is
Okay.
untrust zone, it is extranet zone, it is
Mhm,
external zone, it is untrust zone, it is untrust, and it is outside zone.
Okay.
The name can be anything, but the purpose will remain same,
Yes, yes, yes.
right? So I think now DMG is something which is somewhere in your network, but it is allowed to public users also, external users also, outside users
Yeah.
also, right?
Okay.
Some websites which needs to be accessed by the external users also.
Yes, yes,
Suppose
yes,
you're
yes.
off, you need to publish your website, your office, your company website. So that should be allowed to the external users also, right? They can also see your website.
Yes.
So you need to put that website in the DMZ zone. I think we are good, right?
Yeah, very good.
So now we can create a new policy. We do have a requirement. Suppose somebody from outside also wants to access your DMG, your something. Suppose take an example of website. So some other users from the external interface, outside interface, from the internet wants to access something from your DMG. So we also need to create NAT here, but we are not understanding NAT today, so we'll just create a simple policy. Suppose
Okay.
outside to inside, I'll name it as outside to DMG. Got it?
Okay.
So I'll name it
Outside.
as outside to DMG. Why?
Okay.
Because outside users are coming here and accessing your website, which is deployed in DMZ
Okay.
server. Okay,
Okay.
I'll create outside users accessing website.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
deployed in DMZ. Okay, it will make it is understanding now. Tags, any tag you can add. So we haven't created any tag yet, so it is not popping up for you right now. So we need to create a tag, just policies, then we will add tag later. We can do it later as well.
Okay.
So what is the most important is
The source.
name, yeah, source and destination,
Okay.
right? You have gone through the slides. It was saying source zone and destination zone. So we are adding zone now. So where the traffic is coming from? The traffic is coming from
From
outside.
outside. Yes.
Yes. So we will add external zone. Right.
Mm.
This is our outside zone. This is our untrust
Okay.
zone.
Okay.
Any IP. I'll add any IP. Any IP means the IPs which are already aligned to this external zone will be allowed only. Right. Destination zone. This is lab environment. That is why you only IPs which is allowed will be there. In your environment, it could be different. Either it is any IP from the internet, or either it is some specific IP, either some specific subnet. So you also can specify the addresses. If you don't want to assign any, you can specify the subnet. Right? You have list of subnet. You can specify. So from external zone, you only need this subnet from the internet. Those who have this subnet will access your website. Just move it for now. Okay, good with the source.
Yeah.
And then we can specify users. We do not have any users right now, so if we do have any users, we can specify. If we have created any user, we can specify from here. We did not created any, so it is not popping up. Leave
Is
it.
that like in production? Is that required or no?
It is not required.
Okay.
It is not required, or you can add it. It is if you are creating policy on the basis of IP, there is no requirement of user.
Okay.
If you want to be very specific, very more specific, most of the companies do it, most of the company doesn't do it. So if you want very specific, you can create any, you can add user if you have. So destination, you need to have destination. So destination is our DMG, right? So I'll add DMG zone because website is there in the DMG. So DMG, we have a lot of website deployed, suppose. So you want to be very specific for allow access. So I'll add the same website IP, right? I'll add the IP from the website only. So it will not access anything else in the DMG. It will only access the website. Application you can add on which, because it is a website, we did not created any application yet, so it is not popping up, right? 2ch posting. So these are the predefined application in the Palo Alto Firewall. We can create it separately as well. Suppose we want to, because it is a website, it will be there in HTTPS, right? Right? So HTTPS, we need to create it separately. Whether we can create it from here, application filter. So we have multiple applications. We'll because we haven't gone through it, we will do it later. Don't be confused, right? We only have gone through source and destination. We will learn application, we will learn user later, right? Services we will learn later, right?
Okay.
So don't be very confused. You just need to know how we can create policies.
Okay.
Right? Just delete it for now because it is the application. Application is our website, so that will be HTTPS or as such. I mean HTTPS and HTTP something. And
But in production, Vikrant, in production environment, for example, in the real world, let's say, for example, the company has a website that they are hosting in a server that is on the DMZ. So what you do is you provide so you know the application name already, right? Let's say the application name is Google.com.
Because we know the requirement from user end.
Yes, okay.
Because we know the requirement. We know that he wants to access this. So if we are allowed to allow the access, we will allow.
Okay, got it.
We are permitted from the client and customer to allow the access, we can allow. Services also we will learn. And action. So now action setting is allow because we are allowing this. We can deny it, we can drop it, we can reset. So we are allowing it right now. So log setting, we remember if we are going through at slides, log at session, log at session start. So it is the session end, log at session end is important. That you will do it or not, it is up to you. It will show you the logs at the starting of the session. It will show the all logs. In video we also include the starting. Log forwarding, we will have the log forwarding server. If we do not have, we can leave it. So we can click OK. Now we have a policy. See, right? So now we need to commit.